Today we're going to be speaking about lymphadenopathy. Lymphadenopathy is a very difficult disease because you always need to know whether the lymph nodes are soft or they hard, are they mobile or not mobile. Is it acute? Is it chronic? Is it one lymph node or multiple lymph nodes? It's really tricky in all the locations: head, neck, axilla, inguinal. It's quite a tricky topic, but here, really making your life simple. We got some mnemonics, lymphadenopathy. We got some mnemonics, how to learn it, whether it's painful, whether it's painless, whether it's one, if it's a single or it's a group. So we're gonna make it really simple for you guys. So I want to start off with the painful ones. Painless, just a rule of thumb, painful are usually the infections which are acute, so acute lymphadenitis, so that can be infections, which we're gonna be speaking about in detail over here. The next thing is chronic. Chronic is going to be much more obviously chronic, but it's going to be much more cancer, lymphoma type things, those chronic lymphadenitis things. Okay, so we're going to start off with painful. Painful, okay, is going to be localized, so that means one, or it has to be generalized, so that means more than two non-contagious lymph nodes. Okay, so 1 and 2, right? Okay, simple. So first of all, it's going to be the localized lymphadenopathy. How we can remember this? We're going to remember this as rocks. It rocks your body. The lymph node is really rocks. It's a painful infection. It really rocks your body like that. Rocks it up. Okay, so it's going to be R as in rubella. Rubella is the virus, and then O is going to be oral or genital herpes. So if it's obviously genital, look at the inguinal part, but if it's oral, then you can look at the inguinal herpes, look around the mouth for that. As the C is means cat scratch disease. By the way, cat scratch disease is caused by which bacteria? Yes, Bartonella henselae. Bartonella henselae, and just so this is going to be infectious disease by the transmission of Bartonella henselae, which is going to be due to cat scratches or bites, which is a single painless papule or a vessel which can develop painful lymphadenitis. So it's a painless. When you look at the patient's skin or whatever, it's a little bit painless, but actually it is quite painful. The next thing is Kawasaki disease. Yes, the very famous disease, which is going to cause unilateral cervical lymphadenopathy. This is kind of like heart attack in children. Okay, so that kind of myocardial heart attacks in the children. It's a vasculitis. So we're going to get also, because it's kind of like infection as well. So we're also getting these cervical lymphadenopathies. The next thing is skin infection. So that's rocks. That's a painful thing, but that's only if you have one enlarged lymph node. So that may be one preauricular, postauricular, occipital, the supra and infraclavicular, subclavicle, like one or two, or one inguinal, one axillary, one lymph node. Okay, but how about if there's multiple? How about if you kind of palpate and it's like 2 or 3, you feel like a group of that? Okay, so what's going to be the main thing here? So you're going to think about infections. Okay, so first of all, you think of virus. You're going to think about a car is stuck in your lymph node. Yes, this sounds very stupid, I know, but it's a good way to kind of learn that the car. Why the car? So the C is going to start for you CMV infections, A as in adenovirus infections, and then the R, which is going to be, we already spoke about this, but no harm in revising it, rubella. The next thing over here is going to be your bacteria. There are many. The way you want to remember this to a mnemonic called the big cat. And let me just bring this table up so that we can speak about this. But the B over here is me. You guessed it, Bartonella. Okay, Bartonella, we spoke about that. Brucella. The reason I want to bring up Brucella because it is a zoonotic infection. But the thing about it is undulant fevers. Undulant fevers means, like, let's just say you have 39, then you go 38, 39, and then 38. You're kind of going like that wave. It's not relapsing. Relapsing means you're 39, then you get back to normal 37, then you're 39, then you come back to normal, which is 37, then you're like that. So it's going to be kind of, you're in fever state, but it's kind of like a wave. Okay, the next thing is going to be C is going to be the cat scratch disease. We already spoke about this. Then A is going to be it's not a bacteria, so a little bit of exception, but it's antibiotics. Antibiotics can cause lymphadenopathies. Albuterol can cause antibiotics. Antihypertensive all start with A. All these drugs start with A. All these drugs that start with A can cause lymphadenopathies. The next one, T, is going to be TB. We're going to speak about TB in quite a bit. Worms, not much to speak about. Just think about immunocompromised patient with toxoplasmosis. You may come across patients with the the malaria, some schistosomiasis, but yeah, those are yeah, not that much. Okay, pain less now. Pain less. Let's come to localized pain less. So for this one, I'm gonna actually start with generalized pain less. So that's gonna be over here. The way I like to do this for pain, I use this mnemonic also for empyema of the liver, of the lungs, which I do have on my Instagram. It's called meat, and this mnemonic is also my Instagram. So same shameless shout out to my Instagram. You can maybe check it out. The M as a malignancy, and here I want to pound something about malignancy. It doesn't mean metastasis. It means primary malignancies. So leukemias, lymphomas, sarcoma, all these type of malignancies. The next thing is be enzyme deficiency. So that can be your sphingomyelinase deficiency, so there's Niemann-Pick's disease, or your hexosaminidase deficiency. So that can be your all these Ashkenazi Jews. What do you call it? The Niemann-Pick Tay-Sachs disease, for instance. Tay-Sachs disease causes lymphadenopathies. And then we have autoimmune diseases. So autoimmune diseases such as the SLE, very, very famous autoimmune disease. Sarcoidosis is another famous disease. And obviously tuberculosis can also be. Tuberculosis all over the place, to be honest. It's going to be here. It's going to be painless. It's going to be painful. And it's also going to be over here in our last part of this. Let me just have a quick look if I'm saying this right. TB bacteria is no. Okay, 1 second. Come to the painful. Okay, yeah, excuse me over here. Yeah, so big cat over here. Bacteria can cause it, but it is painful. So big disclaimer, it is painless over here. For TB, it's painless. Although I put in the painful category, but it is painless. Sorry about that. So yeah, coming back over here. So we can see over here that the metastasis is going to be the residual lymph node over here. So yeah, so we can see over here residual lymph node, and then we can see over here the just need to quickly just double check this all SID and the two. Okay, SID. By the way, as you guys can see, I am using AMboss, so big shout out to them. I kind of took a lot of information from them. They are my resource, but these mnemonics, I made them completely myself. So just a big shout out to them. So yeah, by the way, yeah, so we have residual lymph node. So residual lymph node is like a kind of like after overcoming an infection. So that can be over here. So post-infection, so any sort of thing like that. Then we spoke about SLE. I know that I spoke about SLE being in the autoimmune category. Yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a mistake from my side. I meant to say that this is going to be the I didn't mean to write SLE over here. Sorry about that. It's not SLE. I just want to make it just me Sjogren's syndrome. Okay, not SLE. SLE is gonna be painless. It's gonna be really painless. So I want to make that clearly. Again, this is something that's overlapping. It can be localized, it can be generalized, and it is painless. Although I put it in my painful mnemonic, please don't confuse it. It is painless. So guys, it's a bit haphazard, but let me just quickly overcap that. For your painful, you want to know rocks. So rubella, oral herpes, cat scratch disease, Kawasaki disease, skin infections. Next thing is going to be your painful. So what is generalized? You want to divide the viruses, bacteria, parasites. And so viruses, just know a car is stuck in my lymph node. I know it's stupid, but okay, CMV, adenovirus, rubella. Then we have the bacteria, a big cat. A big cat is going to be the cause of my lymph node. Then we brucella. We spoke about the brucella, bartonella, Creutzfeldt's disease. A as in, this is kind of exceptions, so drugs such as antibiotics, antihypertensives, allopurinol. T as in the I said tuberculosis, but please, it's not painful, it's painless, so please, not painful. And then worms, mainly do toxoplasmosis, maybe learn schistosomiasis or the malaria maybe as well. And then we're going to come into painless. Over here, painless, localized if dependent is everything rest, the rest of everything else. So the kind of everything rest, because that's the last time we kind of covered. The residual lymph node after an infection, SLE, and tuberculosis. It can be localized or generalized. So tuberculosis is quite a big one actually, in fact, for this topic. Next thing we meats, because generalized lymphadenopathy. I also use the meats mnemonic. This same mnemonic, you can use this for the exudative pleural effusions. So for instance, like malignancies, it works over there and here. The E, I put enzyme deficiencies, but in the effusions, that can be like effusions, of course, or it can be tenosynovitis, so the swelling of our tendons. The A over here is me the autoimmune diseases such as Sjogren's syndrome. maybe some arthralgias can maybe associate with that. The T is going to be the tuberculosis, and the S is going to be sarcoidosis. So hopefully, guys, this lymphadenopathy has so many causes, but hopefully this kind of makes it a little bit simple for you guys. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Hopefully see you guys next time. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. Hopefully see you guys next time.